If you want to see me apply a full face of products I have never used before, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time, welcome to HMM Makeup or Makeup. I have nothing but foundation on my face. I haven't done anything else. And I have a series of products in front of me, and I will put a picture of it right there so you can see all the products I'm dealing with. And I'm going to apply a bunch of these products that I have no idea how they are going to work on my face, and I think that that is a fun thing to do once in a while, and I thought that I would take you with me on this ride. So I am going to just move over things that I know and love and make room for all these other products. And I think that what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set my concealer. So I used a concealer that I have at my disposal, and I don't think I had any other ones to use. Nope. I just grabbed a bunch of products that I have not used before and just decided to film. Why not experiment with you? So I've got the concealer, the creaseless concealer from Tarte on, but I have not set it, and I've never used the Stellar powder to set my under eye, and I'm going to try it. So it is made in Canada, and this one is called Haze. It is in the Haze color, and there's quite a bit. Now Haze, I think, has a little bit of a purple hue. I'm not sure, but we're just going to try, and if it's a big old mess, I don't have a problem redoing my concealer and whatnot. So let me grab a brush. And the brush I'm going to use, I don't even think it's, yeah, it's all, has it all rubbed off? Yeah, I can't even tell you what it is. It's an old Smashbox brush, and I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of the Haze powder from Stellar and just set my concealer. And hopefully, like I said, it's not going to look crazy. Well, so it's winter, and I know I'm starting to have dry spots on my skin. I'm going to have to hydrate better than I'm doing right now. Yeah, I'm pretty dry. As I add more powder, like as if that's going to help, but anyway, so yeah, I've got some, it just is what it is. It's winter, it's Canada, it's cold. Skin does not like it very much. Okay, so I have set the concealer. I'm good. The foundation does not need to be set. I also did put some concealer, bone concealer around my nose because I do have little veins there. And I do want to frame my face, and so I think that the first thing I'm going to do is to put my eyebrows on. Now, this uemura brow blade, I think it's called, does even have, says browsword, pardon me, in walnut brown, but it seems to have dried up on me, and it's a really neat kind of a hard pomade, I guess, is what a pencil is. But if it's tugging too much at my eyebrows, I may abort mission and use a different product. But I want to try it to begin with. So I'm going to start off with the tail end of the brows and just see if I can get the product to dispense. And just to make sure I have the right form for my brows, I'm just going to brush them. And hopefully we're going to get a good feel for this. So I'm using this, and I also intend to use something that I barely ever use. I think I've used it once. It's the ABH. It's in Taupe. It's a tinted, basically like a brow freeze, but a tinted version. So I want to try that as well. But we're going to start with the blade and see how that goes. I was a little nervous when I saw how little product was coming off on my hand when I tried it on my hand, and I really hope that I don't have to press super hard to get. Yeah, I've already lost an eyebrow hair there. It has kind of quite a tug on my brow right now. Okay, well that's not looking too bad, but I have lost a couple brow hairs, so If you are worried about how much brow hair you have, you might not want to use a stiff pencil. It's almost feeling like I'm plucking them. Okay, and I'm just going to use a spoolie I have just to make sure that I keep the form looking good. Now, if this ends up only pulling a few hairs, then I'm not going to have any kind of concern about using it again. But if it's basically eating away at the the brows that I have, I may decide not to use this product again. For obvious reasons, right? I don't want to not have any brows. Oh, I just need a little bit more product. It's just a twist up. I went a little high on that one. Okay. And up. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just pushing it up and out, up and out, up and out. Okay, back to the spoolie. Okay, not exactly my favorite up here, so let's fix that. I do want it to resemble what my natural brow is. I don't want it all over the place. Okay, so I think that that is reasonably close, the brow hair, geez, reasonably close to what I would do on a typical day. Am I messing things up here? Yep. Yes, I am. Okay, now I'm going to use this product that I said I would move to. And it is a very small spoolie, which is good because the tail end of the brow does not need a big spoolie. And I'm just going to see if I can set with this product. It's not one that I think I've used it once or twice, but I've never really given it a go. Okay, not the best brow I've ever done. I think I was a little nervous about the losing the brow hair thing. And yes, I know I have big brows. You don't have to tell me I can afford to lose a few. I actually do like my brows. I don't mind the fact that they are larger maybe than some people would say is nice. It's a kind of a feature for me. It's something that makes my face different from other people's, and I think it's nice to have some traits that are just kind of more unique to us than to other people. I don't think that that's a bad thing. If we all look the same, it would be pretty boring. Okay, so you have seen me do this one. I will do the other one off camera and then we can proceed with the next step. Okay, I am back. The eyebrows are done and set. So I did use the brow blade that you saw, plus this taupe colored brow setter from ABH. It's not brow setter as the name, but it is a brow setter product. And Urban Decay Legend is on my upper waterline. It is a waterline pencil, which I'm very happy with. And it just gives my eye a little bit more definition before I have mascara on. And I do want to use a few products now. One of them is I want to right away use a lip product. And this is a sample that I received from Rare Beauty. And it is the Nearly Neutral. It's just a tiny, tiny sample. But that is what I'm going to wear on my lips. And it does make me think of the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. And the gloss bomb that I'm referring to is the one that I got in the Sephora favorites set. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put it right there for you. This really makes me think of the Fenty Gloss Bomb. In big part, the color, the feel. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that and the Fenty Gloss Bomb. And I do like the color. It's quite pretty. So that is another product that I have never used. Down. Next, I have purchased this. I purchased it a while ago, never used it. So I did put, while I was off camera, the bronzer and just a contour on this side because I did not have any of those products to use for the first time. And so this blush, hopefully, just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand here. Hopefully is not going to be super pigmented. I have not watched anybody else use it. And I hope that it does a good job. So it looks very, very light. It does make me think of this other blush that I got out of that favorites kit I just mentioned. Just putting it lightly. And we're going to see how it blends. And I have a peachy rosy look for the eyes, so all of this is going to tie well together, I hope. Okay, I think that looked pretty good, and I have just enough to do the other side, so let's do that. I learned from that favorites kit not to put too much of a creamy peach blush on my cheeks because it can spread and spread and spread. Okay, I think that's pretty even. That was easy. Okay, assuming it stays, assuming it behaves, I like the color and I like the application. That was really, it was almost like moussey, and it's better. It's better than what I used from the favorites kit. The one from, I think it was from Rare Beauty. I don't think I have it out right now. But this is, because it's kind of moussey, I like it better than the other one. So yeah, something to note. We have blush. I think this Ilia Liquid Light highlighter should be next. I'm going to be very careful. It has a pump. I'm going to be very careful not to dispense too much because it is a highlighter. Woo! And I failed. Okay, so I ended up dispensing quite a bit. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to spread it over the two fingers, but that's still quite a bit. I'm going to see if I can use some of it on the brow bone to just not waste it. So I have a brush here from Glamlight. I just forgot the name. And I'm just going to use the excess on the brow bone. Let's just see how it works. We're just doing a try on. It doesn't all have to be perfect. Okay, and on the other side. Okay, and I'm just going to buff it out with another brush. I don't want there to be too much product. Okay, I think that worked. And then I still have quite a bit, so I'm going to hopefully not mess my makeup up. We'll see. So that's still a lot. I'm just going to remove some so I can spread out the product properly. As I slap my face. I went a little bit too low. Everything else is looking okay, and then this side. I need to make sure I'm moving my fingers around so it doesn't all accumulate in one spot. Okay, so I have a nice shine, and it looks like I have it on both sides. That's a little bit much right there. Okay. All right, I'm not upset at it. I think it did a decent job, so I'm happy with that. Now I did have to go wash my hands. I had highlighter all over the place. I will say that I'm not too happy with the dispenser because it dispenses way too much product. A third of what it dispenses would be fine. So I wasted a ton of highlighter, this Nova highlighter by Ilia. Do I think it's nice? Yes. I mean, I haven't done a wear test all day, but it does seem like it's a nice highlighter. And it does seem to be doing a good job on the brow bone, so I'm not unhappy with that. I'm looking at my products now and trying to figure out what I do next. I think I'm going to go straight into a palette that I have swatched on camera, but I've never used on camera, and it is the Rosé Party by Violet Voss. And if you are not aware, I am doing a 6 looks with the I Rust You palette. I will put the latest video right there for you if you want to kind of see what I'm up to. And this palette, I think I'm going to focus on pink and peach. I think I'm going to stay away from brown. And I think it's just going to be pretty nice. And pink and peach, just because I have a peach blush on, I think that that is what would make sense. And this color is kind of peach as well. So yeah, I think we'll kind of stay in the peach zone. First brush I'm going to use is a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into this one right here. I just loaded the brush a little bit. I will do one eye and do the other eye off camera to save some time. So into the crease, going back in. And this palette is doing a good job, but I usually like Violet Voss shadows, so I'm not surprised I'm enjoying this matte. And I'm going to, once I'm done here, I'm going to just use whatever's left on the brush and go on the inner lid. Right, inner brow, I should say, because it's past the lid. I just really enjoy doing that. And I say that every time I do my eyeshadow, but for anyone who hasn't heard it before, it's good information. Okay, and I'm just using my fluffy brush because the mattes are really good. I can just use a fluffy brush and go back and forth. And that is so nice. It's just feeling like a little dusting of a nice peachy pink. Yeah, I like that, or pinky peach, whichever one you want to say. Okay, and I don't think that I need to do a whole lot more. I'm going to take a bit of a denser brush and go right back into that peach. It may just be a 2 to 3 eyeshadow look. It might not be a whole lot. Which is okay, there's no problem with that. And I'm going to go, because it's a little bit denser, I'm going to go back on that lower lash line again. Okay, that it's just feeling easy like that. Going back to the fluffy brush, I realize I've got a bit of a spot missing here. Okay. Now for the other color, what am I going to do? And I think I'm going to go in with this one. It's like a peach again, but it has what looks like gold in it. And I'll use my multitasker brush for this one because I want to go right into the corner and out. And here it is, and I'm going to go right into that kind of gold peach and right into the inner lid. I'm really surprised I haven't moved to Christmas palettes from prior years or from this year, because my fingers are already Christmassy. I'm moving, speaking of fingers, I'm going to the finger to apply the rest of this shadow on the lid. That's a fun look. it's pretty. It's quite nice. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to park the palette for now because I don't think I need any other shadows to go with it. This is a simple look, but I think it's flattering. And I want to finish up this eye and then do the other one off camera. What do I need? And though I have used it once recently, it is brand new, so to speak, back into my collection. And I'm going to use the tattoo liner from KVD Vegan Beauty and give myself a wing. So let's do that. Now I went a little high on the very inner lid. I usually keep it thinner in that spot. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I do want to finish up the wing. Okay, so there's the wing on that side. And still going on with the theme of new things I've never tried, I have just taken this out of the package, the Tubing Mascara by Tarte. I have never ever tried it, so I guess the Tartelette Tubing Mascara is the proper name for it. And it is just a sample. But let's take a look at the brush. Oh yeah, big brush, plastic brush. I hope it do not poke my eye. We will find out shortly. And tubing mascara can be a challenge to take off. You have to kind of use water and kind of pull it off the eyelashes. It's a very weird kind of system. But it works fine usually, so I don't have a problem with that. It's a very stiff brush, wow. Okay, now I always pinch the mascara on my lower lashes. I have long lashes on the bottom, and I don't like having lashes as long on the bottom as I have on the top. And some folks really like to have long lashes both up and down, and it drives me crazy. It makes me think of Pierrot, the French clown that has really big lashes all the time. And I don't appreciate it on my face. I do appreciate it on other people, but for my preference, I don't want very much on the bottom line, bottom lash line. If anything, I'll put a liner on, but I'm just not big on having it on my lashes. We all have our quirks, right? I am really liking this look. I think it's simple, but it's pretty. I think it goes really well with the lip product or vice versa, and it goes really well with the blush. I think the whole thing is pretty cohesive. And what do I have left to do? I do want to use this Sephora pencil that I barely ever use, which is this Blonde Ambition. It's called Nacré, which is kind of nice, a nice name in French. And this is a little bit of a swatch of it. I'm just wondering if I can make it apply on the very, very inner part of the eye. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do with it, just to put a little, get a little attention toward the inner part of the eye. And I intended to use Lilith, the Nudestix Lilith, to do the brow bone, but I ended up using that extra highlighter. So this will be saved for another kind of products I don't use try on. And I think that is it for all the products. I'm going to replicate, like I said, on the other eye, and let's take a look at the final look. Okay, this is the final look, and I'm really, really happy with it. And I have used all these products that I've either not used in a given way or haven't used in a long time. I want to just kind of go back on the kind of the roadmap of putting this look together. First off, I do want to say I do like the Stellar powder. I think it did a really good job of brightening my under eye. I'm really happy with it. And I was a little nervous because I've never used Haze, the color Haze, under my eyes, and I do really, really like it. It has a little bit of a purple hue to it, which is why I was a little nervous, but no, I think it looks good. It brightens up my under eye. I'm happy. I'm not going in any particular order. I really like this blush. Really like this blush. Like I said, the kind of foamy texture to it is really nice. It's like a whipped cream, and it did not apply overly in an overly thick way. It's just a little flush of color. I love that. I think it looks really good. I also really enjoyed this Rare Beauty lip gloss that feels very much like the Fenty Gloss Bomb. So these two feel very, very similar. And going into other products, I am very happy to have used this little Sephora pencil that I've barely ever used. It is a waterproof pencil in 06 Blonde, 06 Blonde Ambition. And I think it does a good job right in the inner corner. Somehow there's not as much here. Easy to correct. There we go. And I really do like how it brightens the inner corner. So I'm going to keep using it for that. That's just a rediscovery, if you will. For the brow bone, I did not get to use the Nudestix because I ended up using the Ilia highlighter that dispensed way too much, which is this one. So I was using it as highlighter on the cheekbone, but I ended up using it as well on the brow bone because I just had so much of it. I didn't want to waste product. Too much of it dispensed. And let's keep with the eyes. I really am enjoying this palette. I have done a swatches video. I have now done, obviously, a first impressions video. And I really am enjoying it. I used primarily these two colors, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I used primarily these two colors, yes. And if I didn't have a brow bone, I would probably have used that one on the brow bone as opposed to the highlighter. And I think the next look will be a very pink look. I went more on the peachy side today. I really like it, but I think rosy would be next. And to complete the eye, I did use the KVD Vegan Beauty Tattoo Liner and the tubing mascara from Tarte. And for the brows, I did use the uemura. I did lose more eyebrow hairs on this side. When I did the other side off camera, I did not have as much of a concern. But it is a stiff product, and what that tells me is if I want to use it, I'd better use it soon because I think it's just drying out. And what I'm noticing here is that the brow hairs did not stay in place, so I'm just going to set them again. I may need to use brow freeze on that. Maybe this is not sufficient. So maybe I'll use this Sephora Clear Brow Gel, although it's not anywhere near as good as ABH Brow Gel. Okay, so got a couple of layers of security for the brow. So I've talked about this, and is there anything else I haven't talked about? Nothing really to talk about for foundation. It's the same kind of mix of 3 foundations I've been using for months now. And I think that is it. yes, that is it. That is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed seeing this look using a bunch of products. I will put a picture of all the products on screen right now, just as a way to just be able to remember them. And yes, the only product I think that you will see a lot more of is probably this palette. I'm going to at least do a few more looks with it. This is look 2 with this palette, I believe. So pretty happy with that. And that's about everything I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this odd try on of all sorts of products I've never tried on my face before, or at least tried in the same way before. And let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. I always appreciate reading what you have to say. And I'll say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, as always, take care.